Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Rewind from Smacked Raw. My name is Kyle Tyson, and I've got, of course, like always, RN with me. This is the show you're supposed to be on, right, RN?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes this week too. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Back on Friday nights.
man, thank y'all for joining us over here on the live stream at twitch.tv/puttingyouover. Make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever you do on Twitch. Follow. We go live 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times on here. And then, of course, streamer himself, who hosts his own podcast from behind the bar, Chugging Rolling Rocks, with Miss Vanessa as the producer. It's a fantastic show.
Greatest beer ever.
Yeah, they'll be back on the 20th, man. Get ready. That's actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jesus, this month is flying by. God dang it, man. But if you're unfamiliar with The Rewind, RN and myself, we run down the latest week in wrestling. Normally it's Raw. What else do we do, RN? SmackDown, right?
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW.
AEW.
Whatever pay-per-view this week, which we have one.
Yes. Yeah, Money in the Bank tonight as well. Now, normally, so I had originally planned to do Slammiversary. I was actually going to watch it today, and we would include it, but RN, your schedule freed up for the morning. I didn't get enough time. So instead, I'm going to watch Slammiversary. Follow the show on Twitter at SmackedRawPod. I will tweet my thoughts on Twitter, so it won't get covered. Mama's here. Wow, you're on the air, buddy. Okay. I'll tweet about it later today when I get a chance to watch it. I'm actually very excited. I heard great things.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it too. Send me when you get the chance. Send me the link because the links I have were not working.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm totally gonna purchase it. I'll just give you my login.
All right, I don't want to shit.
And then lastly, just a quick disclaimer about this show. This is not going to be a beat for beat rundown of every show. God knows, as much as I talk and RN talks, we'd be here for 3 hours. We're pretty much just going to talk about what stood out to us on these shows, the highlights, the lowlights, and then we'll just cut out anything else. So, if we don't mention, one of your professional, favorite wrestlers or something this week, it's not that we missed it. It's that they didn't make big enough impact on us for us to even care to cover it. If you want a more traditional recap weekly show, I suggest you follow and watch Smacking It Raw, similar name as us. Matt Ritter and Vince Delgado. They'll cover the week in its entirety. They shoot on Fridays. But I think they usually have the show on their YouTube channel on Saturdays or something. But goodness gracious, sorry, man. That was a lot of talking already.
Get the corporate spiel out the way.
Yeah, I know. I got to get it out. So this week in wrestling, fans returned, with the exception of Raw. We had fans at every show. Because NXT, they have that small group of fans in there. They like to cram in there, which I think that's the only time you hear MSK get booed, is because of those 30 fans just booing MSK every week.
I wish I knew the backstory to that.
Oh man, it is one of the great wrestling mysteries. Why do people hate MSK so much? But Raw, we'll dive into Raw while I try to just remember everything that happened on Money in the Bank last night. RN, do you have you said last week you needed to take notes. Did you get a chance to make any up?
Hell to the no.
All right. Well, I'll go over my notes, and then if anything jogs your memory, you want to input,
Right.
Cool. So I think the biggest thing for me on Raw, Xavier Woods and Bobby Lashley. Xavier Woods with a shocking, clean roll-up victory on Bobby Lashley to open up Raw. Damn, man, that whenever WWE does something like that, it's so intriguing, man. It gets you way more invested in Lashley's character than, say, if he had squashed Xavier Woods.
Right.
What'd you think of the segment at the end of the night where he essentially ditched all the bullshit that comes with his entourage and declares that he's going to end Kofi Kingston?
I mean, I was into it and not at the same time because I was digging the fucking Ric Flair version of the Almighty. But my thing is like, why they should have just kept the Hurt Business if they were gonna go back to this, like do a hard reset. They should have kept the Hurt Business because that's what he said. We're going back to business, the Hurt Business. So
Yeah.
like, what was the point of splitting them up? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. Still doesn't.
Him and MVP had this moment in there, kind of left lingering. They might separate. Do you still have that feeling after watching Money in the Bank?
No, like I said, we were scared in the chat, especially all of us people of color. We were like, don't break up another fucking group. And Bobby needs MVP. Like as much, like I can't even front. He's gotten a little bit better on the mic, where it's not so choppy and not so robotic, but he needs MVP. Like just there's no doubt about it. Like he needs MVP.
MVP builds him up the same way that Paul Heyman builds up Brock or Roman Reigns. You know,
absolutely.
He just adds so much more to Lashley's aura, character, presence, everything.
And to me, like being a heel, especially a heel like that, you don't necessarily need like a manager or like a mouthpiece, but you need that extra person to call some shit on the outside to kind of strengthen the fact that you're heel, because really in WWE, none of their heels ever do any heel shit. So you need that other person to kind of do it for you. You know what I'm saying?
We were joking on the Untitled Friday show that the baby faces in WWE are more of heels than actual heels themselves at times.
And that's not really a joke. It's almost, if you just kind of take a step back and look at the shit, it's been like that for years.
Look at SmackDown's Intercontinental picture and just how they just repeatedly bully Baron Corbin.
Walked the man's car after it got repoed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, it's just MVP just adds so much to the danger of Bobby Lashley.
Right.
And then but of course, I can't wait to talk about Money in the Bank. Another thing that I'm liking, I'm not going to lie, a little guilty pleasure here. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. There's this feud building between Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Now,
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Give Drew something better to do. Like we always complain about guys that hover around the belt for too long. That's Drew McIntyre in this case. This feud's great. The whole segment of like the Jinder stealing the sword, it's a fake sword. Right. Drew, for whatever reason, to prove that it was fake, brought his real one to work. I don't know how smart that is. And then proceeds to Street Fighter 2-esque smash up Jinder Mahal's motorcycle.
I mean, that part of it, the sword and stuff and all that shit, like to me is just lazy WWE booking. They couldn't figure out a way to build any heat. So they're like, oh, still his sword. Like no one gives a shit about that sword. Like it doesn't matter. But I like this because, and it blows my mind how these people don't know the history. They have a built-in history already. They're best friends in real life. There's so many other things you could use to make this feud like super fucking hot besides a stupid ass sword that no one really cares about. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that he has an entourage, you know what I'm saying, has people backing him up they ain't no little bitty dudes, they huge. Because when he had the Bollywood boys, I mean, that shit looked ridiculous. He's 7 foot tall with these two children as his backup. You know what I'm saying?
It's they did the opposite of what we just said MVP does, you know, for Bobby.
Right. And don't get me wrong, these two dudes don't mean shit. They don't say shit. Like they're not needle movers, but at least they get, please don't do this to me. Is it doing it again?
What's up?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to lose RN for a moment. Yeah, there he goes. And he's back.
And I'm back.
There we go.
Yeah, but at least they bring something, and it makes it, because they are two huge ass dudes. So when they're beating the shit out of Drew, like you feel it more than you would like the Bollywood boys are getting tossed around in there like they were his last time around.
Yeah, the Singh brothers were very much the comedic part of Jinder Mahal's act. Like kind of like J&J Security way back in the day.
Right.
Way back in the day. Like 4 or 5 years ago is way back in the day, man. Jesus.
Yeah, right. But it worked for them, you know what I'm saying? But at least now it kind of feels real. Like now it brings some sort of, I don't know, it brings some sort of like strength to it, I guess, of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Of course, I know they're going to pop it down with some dumbass stuff past the bike and the sword. I already see it coming, but
I
the
would
match is
really
gonna
like to see just let Drew and Jinder, man, have like a sit down and be like, you know what, how
right.
can we build this feud? Just give him the benefit of the doubt, you know.
They kind of already started it, like when he was telling him how Drew was ignoring him for months and shit, and like never hit him back. Like I said, they're actually friends. We know they're actually friends, and they have that history of terrible ass 3 and B. Like there's so much shit you can use to actually throw some heat on this feud besides stupid ass props and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But because this is what we get when you have not majority of the writers have no real wrestling experience and don't understand that they have a history that you could build off of. That's why they're doing it. Like, who gives a shit about that bike?
Well,
Like, come on.
it's not even just like the writers themselves. It's the method of their writing. It's a lot of copy
Right.
and paste.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it like this. We just spent a month of Shinsuke Nakamura stealing Baron Corbin's crown. So they said, well, you know what? No one on SmackDown watches Raw. Let's just copy and paste that with Jinder Mahal stealing the sword.
Facts.
You know, yeah, it's you just. I think you subtly don't even realize it. You end up seeing like the same stories over and over again.
Yeah.
And not even like months apart, man. Like it could be a week apart.
No,
It could be on the same damn show.
Running congruently. You see the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see where they go with this. I'm glad it keeps them both busy. Another thing too, this is one of my lowlights that stuck out to me. This U.S. title is going nowhere right now. God, look at how big Sheamus was the MVP as far as in-ring action goes of 2020 and 2021, if you ask me. No one consistently put on more like 4-star matches week in and week out than Sheamus over the last year and a half. And then
I agree but disagree at the same time.
Man, his matches were some
No, they were, but a lot of the people he were in the fucking ring with were fire as well, contributing to it. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, I don't know, is it so much Sheamus or is it not just that he had great chemistry?
Well, he was the constant, though. He had a lot of different opponents, and Sheamus's matches still ended up great. So
I'll give you 20, especially the early part of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like that early part when he was just annihilating scrubs and shit and everything like that. Like, he came back ready to put on.
Him and Matt Riddle were a good one. Him and Drew McIntyre. Oh God, man, they killed it. They probably had my favorite match that incorporated the Thunderdome with their like no DQ match or false.
Oh yeah, when they were like just throwing each other through the fucking
LEDs and stuff. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So Sheamus has spent the better part of the last couple months beating up Humberto Carrillo and who else was he beating up to in there?
It was Ricochet.
Ricochet, right? Yeah, because Ricochet, another stealing Sheamus's hat. God damn, like so many stolen angles, stealing angles.
He stole his whole style too, because he's been dressing like Sheamus for the past fucking month and a half.
Oh man,
minus the wife beater.
Yeah, what a name for a shirt.
Right.
But yeah. So this week, Sheamus beats up Humberto Carrillo before the match, and then destroys him during the match. But this does bring one possible light at the end of the tunnel here, as Damian Priest looks to be next up in line, coming out to save Carrillo. This, I think, could, if the same Sheamus that's been here for the year and a half shows up and Damian Priest and this guy have chemistry in the ring, this finally could be Damian Priest's like breakout moment on the roster.
Absolutely. Which is really, WrestleMania was his breakout moment. They just, as usual, failed to capture. Like that match was way better than it had any damn reason to be with Bad Bunny. And then they just let it, like, he wasn't on TV for the next like 3 weeks or some shit like that after WrestleMania, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he was gone forever.
From what I gather, the story behind it was the match was never supposed to go that way, with Bad Bunny getting so much time in the ring.
Right.
If I remember correctly, Damian Priest was like sick or dealing with an injury and was actually questionable to even make it to the match. And
I think, it was like his knee or something like that, or his quad or something he had hurt.
Yeah, so they were kind of between a rock and a hard place because he couldn't do much in the ring. And so it really came down to Bad Bunny. So Bad Bunny, not only did he do what was asked of him, but he had to step up and go above and beyond what was originally
MVP of WrestleMania. MVP of WrestleMania. But again, too, with Damian's credit and shit, I mean, his character and everything, he still could have been on TV. He didn't have to get in any matches. Like they could have been playing up the infamy shit, him in the clubs and stuff like they did on NXT for like 3 weeks before we even saw his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing it with Miz. Miz has been hurt for 3-4 months now. He's on Raw every week.
Yeah, Ben, he's definitely taking the Britt Baker route. Did you hear I don't know if did you catch the pre-show?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so they were doing the kickoff panel like normal. You know how they're usually like somewhere in the fans, like a section.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see Miz come out, but I think I didn't pay attention to what happened.
Oh, dude, the crowd lost it when Miz came out, man. They were fired up for him.
Oh yeah, I did, because at first I thought it was somebody fighting in the crowd or whatever by them, and it ended up being Miz.
No, it's the Miz, man. I'm telling you, the people love the Miz. Like I don't know.
No, he's like I said, after Cena, he's the number 2. Like there's not, especially within the last like decade or so or more. Like whenever Cena wasn't available, they sent Miz to do that shit. Like he's no, like legit, he is the number 2. Like even though he's a heel 90% of the time, but he's not outside of it. Like he literally is next up. Like whenever Cena really is done with the shit, like it's gonna be Miz.
Yeah, people really appreciate him, I believe, at this point. That have been watching for a long time. Maybe the new viewers don't really get him, but that was always the issue. Was he was just like always like a nobody, and then after a while, like you just stuck with him his whole journey, and you're like, damn, this dude is just there's no quitting this guy. It's fantastic, and plus Miz and Mrs. is by far my favorite spin-off WWE show. I love that show, man. I can't lie. It's such a guilty pleasure.
I like binging it too. Like it is, I can't even front. Like it is one of the better ones. Like it makes no fucking sense, and it's completely bonkers 90% of the time. But I mean, it is a WWE show.
Yeah. All right. Last up, one more high, one more low for me. Ricochet and Morrison. Nothing fancy to say here. These guys just kill it every time. These guys get in the ring together. Incredible chemistry. This week we saw Ricochet with another huge spot, jumping off of the top turnbuckle, doing a splash on Morrison through a ladder on the outside. It was just, dude, the last 3 weeks, Ricochet has been hell-bent on murdering himself. To win back over these lapsed fans, man.
For people who don't know, though, this is what they did in Lucha Underground when he was Prince Puma, like that, and Johnny Mundo. Like this isn't just chemistry they just came up with. Like they've had this chemistry.
I forgot all about that.
These type of matches built into what they do. So that's why like they have that chemistry. They're good with each other, and their styles. Even though they're similar, they complement each other too, because the different things that they could both do athletically. Yeah. So yeah.
No, it's crazy, man.
And that corner springboard thing that Ricochet does, like he did that shit all the time as Prince Puma, like where he just jumps over the corner turnbuckle to the guy outside.
To the outside.
Yeah, that was one of his like main moves in Lucha Underground. So
he was introduced like in season 1, right? Because I remember I think I watched the first 2 seasons of Lucha Underground.
Yeah, he was season 1, and Conan was pretty much like his mouthpiece.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, man. He must have been super young.
Yeah, like 21, 22, because I mean, shit, he is only 26, 27 now, I believe.
Yeah, he's still very young too.
Yeah.
I still trip over that photo you see online of him. Like he has to be like a teenager, and he's got like straight black hair. It looks so foreign on him, man. It's so weird. And then the last low light, man, the women's division on Raw is in shambles. This week proved it, man. There was a lot of nothing between Eva Marie and Doudrop, their stuff, the tag champs Natalya and Tamina. Dude, I watched Raw in its entirety. I can't tell you a damn thing that happened with them. It's just because
there's nothing that did happen.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what they thought this Eva Marie shit was gonna be. Like that lets you know, like they're just grasping at straws. Like
they're gonna get like 2 or 3 months out of this story. And it's not like you're going to get much out of it.
Right. And one thing is too, like they're wasting Piper Niven. Like she can really go in the ring. Like she's dope as shit.
That's what I'm hoping is the result. Is there a fan base is built up around her? She reclaims her name because I believe right now
that's what's going to happen. She's going to turn on her. It's too. You know what they're going to do. They're predictable as shit. It's going to end up. She turns on her, and then they end up feuding after.
I do hope part of this story is her getting her name back, because that would get a pop out of people. I think that would really get a rise if she stands up for herself in the end of this and say, "My name's not Dewdrop, it's Piper Niven."
Right.
Because
Or whatever, because they change their names when they come to fucking
yeah,
the main roster. So
what do you guys think? You think she's gonna get her name back? Let me know in the comments or here in the live chat. So that's it for Raw. Let's go ahead and head over to NXT. You had so I only caught about the first half of NXT, man, and I didn't really get my notes down in time. But you had Bronson Reed versus Swerve Scott. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking. No, that was not it. I'm looking at the wrong one.
No, that's the old, like you did last time.
I caught myself this time, though. I knew it. I was like, wait. I remember this match, surprisingly. No, this was the one where at the end, it was Cross taking on Gargano, and we got him choking out Samoa Joe. Dude, I cannot wait.
That's why I kept telling you, and I even said in the chat, like, they didn't do this just for him to be dicking around and be a Sonya Deville. Like, he's wrestling. Like, they just needed him some time to recover, get back acclimated with the NXT crowd. Like, that little bit of him getting choked out by Cross let me know everything. That he's definitely fucking wrestling.
Yeah. The breakout tournament is often one of my favorite things that NXT does. And I got to, man, the vignette they did on, what is it, Eichmann Jiro, I want to say.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted him to at least get through the first round. Gosh.
I know, just him wrestling in the jackets. Like, I did some research on stuff. Like, that's really his thing. He really wrestles his matches in a blazer.
In a blazer. God dang it, man.
And those, like, uppercuts he was throwing while he was holding the jacket and shit. Like, it looked like a superhero wearing a cape or some shit, bro. Like, it was dope. I don't really know most of the guys in this tournament, which is surprising for me. But
yeah, I'm unfamiliar with them too. What do you think of these vignettes with Cameron Grimes, man? Getting
go,
huh?
Straight fucking go.
Yeah, so you're into it.
Yeah, and y'all know me. I'm the grumpy old man. Like, I'm normally not into this comedy shit, but their chemistry together and the fact that like, LA Knight is gonna be a star. Like, if they fuck this up again with him, like, I don't even know what to say with him. Like, not so much NXT. Like, NXT knows what they're doing with him, but once he goes up to the main roster, like, if they screw this up, like, it'll be mind boggling to me. But you can see both of their potential in this feud. Like, you get this because people don't even realize, like, Cameron Grimes when he was Chevrolet, that motherfucker never even talked on the Indies. He never said a word. Every once in a while he'd say something, but he just was in the ring and let his ring work do the talking. So seeing how far he's came from those moments, like even in TNA and everything, to what he is now, and his character work and his promo skills, like, it's been dope for me. Like, I love it.
What was his name on the Indies? Wasn't it like Trevor Lee?
Trevor Lee, yeah.
Trevor Lee, okay. Look, I know a couple things.
Yeah, you got this.
Now, I did see one criticism, and I want to shine some light on it. This isn't my criticism, by the way. I love it too. I'm right there with you. But instead of just repeating what you say, I'll play devil's advocate. So one criticism I saw was that as funny as this is, it's not going to do much in the long run if this is what they do in and out every week for Cameron Grimes. I forget who says this, so I'm sorry if I don't remember. I want to say it may have been Bama or just somebody on Twitter randomly.
My thing is, if it was the main roster, yes, you're right, but it's not. It's NXT, so this small, intimate crowd is going to love and build off of it no matter what. We've seen that time and time again in NXT.
Well, yeah. So, but what their argument was is you have LA Knight essentially humiliating and belittling Cameron Grimes. So you get that moment where Cameron Grimes is able to stand up for himself and get his win at the end. So I can see it both ways, but you got to play to their strengths, and Cameron Grimes is hilarious, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why NXT is what it is. It doesn't. They wouldn't put him in this position if they didn't know that he would excel at it.
Right.
And like you said, even during the stuff like the stuff with the cutting the grass and shit and everything, and paying the little boy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he's like in his ass and downgrade him and stuff, but he comes back looking better every part of the section. Like, it's like they're playing tennis with each other, going back and forth. So that's why I'm like, I understand what they were saying, but at the same time, I don't, because every time, do you ever really remember what LA Knight said in any of these things? Who do you come out remembering from all these
Cameron,
interactions?
man. Cameron Grimes.
Exactly. So how is he the one that's not benefiting from this?
Yeah, that's true. It's a very good point, man. Very good point. So here's the stuff that I missed. But I've gone back. So lately, NXT women have had a habit of kicking the piss out of each other in the head. God damn. So how do you say her name? Is it Saray?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess is it they're going what do they name her? Is it Gigi Dolan?
I always forget her name.
Yeah, Gigi Dolan. Yeah, she does this insane New Japan level Shibata drop kick. Like,
Stiff.
God knows, man, took her head off. I wonder if I can get this GIF. Hold on, does it have audio? All right, never mind. No, I'm not messing with that. Anyways, I was gonna try and throw it on the air, but I'm not gonna play around. At least not on Standing Streamers Twitch. Anyways,
right.
But yeah, kick the shit out of her, man. I think Gigi Dolan's name was Priscilla Kelly before. I could be wrong. I'm terrible, man. Mandy Rose appeared too, by the way. This is interesting to me. So
at first this wasn't interesting to me, but then if you had watched or listened to Busted Open, Johnny Gargano was on there.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how there should be cross-pollination between all the brands. He was like, they keep saying we're the third brand, so let's be the third brand. NXT people should go to Raw and SmackDown, and Raw and SmackDown people should come to NXT. And literally that was Monday or Tuesday's show, and then Tuesday, Mandy Rose is on the show from Raw.
Yeah, so did you hear the rumor that I actually just read up on today? Rumor is Dana Brooks pregnant.
Oh, no, I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so take this with a grain of salt. I didn't see this from any credible sources. This was a random tweet, screen grabbing what appears to be Dana Brooks' Instagram, which the way it looks is she's a week pregnant. Tariq from Young Kings Wrestling podcast, he actually retweeted it as well, kind of sharing the sentiment. Maybe this is a result of that, of the pregnancy. But once again, yeah, it's take it with a grain of salt. Wait for someone like Sean Ross Sapp or somebody else to confirm it. Maybe even Dana Brooke herself. But yeah, so just a rumor out there. What's going on? Ember Moon and Dakota Kai had a match. I didn't get a chance to watch this one either. Anything of note in here?
No, just a normal match. It was a good match. Like, it wasn't like terrible. Like, they have really good chemistry. Hers, Ember, Shotzi, and then Raquel and Dakota Kai. Like, they have like ridiculous chemistry in the ring. So like, they put on good matches. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah,
especially with Shotzi not being with Shotzi, kind of like, to me, like, what isn't going to help Ember?
Mm-hmm. Dude, I don't know if I'm into this feud or not. Is Roderick Strong, newly formed Diamond Mine, and Bobby Fish. It feels like, to me, and I'm probably in the minority here because I know there's a lot more people who are way more hardcore in NXT, so I'm probably way off base. But it feels like the leftovers of
absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong.
Undisputed Era.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I love the group. You know how much I love Malcolm Bivens. I mean, I've been screaming for him to be on fucking TV for almost a year and a half now. But like, to me, like, yes and no, it's a good way to start them out. Because like you said, we get the leftovers from UE, and you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be an actual grudge match. But it should have stayed with the shit with him attacking Kushida, because it's a new group. You don't really know anybody in the group but Roderick Strong. Mm-hmm. Like, starting off at the top like that with the Cruiserweight Championship and him feuding with him would have been a better route to go. And then maybe Bobby Fish comes in towards the end and saves Kushida or something, you know what I'm saying, to go into that next.
Yeah.
But I get why they did it, but I kind of agree with you. Like, it is the leftovers.
Yeah, to me, what it feels like should be happening is Roderick Strong, should first get his hands on that belt. Because
Right.
I think that would elevate them and kind of help defeat the perception of like, okay, you guys are the leftovers of the group that we don't have too
Right.
much for. So you
Right.
put the belt in there, and then that makes them a bigger deal. Get Roderick Strong that cruiserweight title, and then have Bobby Fish going trying to get it back, and then
Or have them
obviously
join them.
join him that too, and then obviously Kyle O'Reilly is starting to fade from the main event picture. You can
Right.
mix him in there as well. There's
Absolutely.
a lot of potential, and I would love to see that belt circle these guys. Just kind of like the world title always bounced around for a long time. All the members of the Shield,
Right.
the women's title has just been circulated with all the four horsewomen.
Right.
You could do the same thing here with the cruiserweight title. Let that thing bounce around all the former members of Undisputed Era, and it helps keep their status elevated in the company.
And also, too, what you can do with Bobby Fish, he's a bridge between all of them. So you
Yeah,
can kind of have him start off. If they did a feud with Kyle O'Reilly, you can have him kind of start off on Kyle's side, but like trying to stay in the background, and then he turns on Kyle and joins them. Like there's so many different ways that you can use them, like you said, to keep that belt rotating, or keep them in a triple threat, or like a three-way feud with, or a four-way feud with Kushida. You know what I'm saying? Them trading it back and forth. But I just think they should have stuck with. They already attacked Kushida as their debut. They should have stayed with that to keep it going. But
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the biggest takeaway for me is I'd love to see that cruiserweight title bounce around former members of Undisputed Era to help keep
right.
them relevant. Because I mean, otherwise they're not going to main roster, and their feuds. If there's one thing about NXT criticism I have is about them is, and now granted, once again, I'm not a hardcore watcher, but like I always feel like the feuds in the show, with the exception of a couple, like my favorite feud right now has been the $1 million feud.
Yeah,
That is just one that's
that's pretty much
captivated me.
everybody's, honestly.
But a lot of once we got outside of Gargano fighting off Undisputed Era and Ciampa and Gargano, like a lot of feuds have felt like they're missing something. They're a little bit more hollow. But I
Well, a
haven't
lot of
watched
their
it.
feuds too. Why it feels that way is because a lot of their feuds are built towards shooting the winner of the feud towards something else. Like that it has nothing to really like. It's nothing. It's nothing really baked in for it except for it to be a platform to get the winner of the feud to move on to the next step. Like everything with them is always like building, like putting Legos together. Like it's always something on top of something to get you somewhere else.
Yeah. Um, like I said, my favorite feud was Gargano and Ciampa. It's unfortunate that we never got the fourth act of that feud due to like the injury and the call up.
Right.
That was so bad. But yeah. All right, so that's it for NXT. Unless there's anything else that you want to add in there.
Swerve versus Santos Escobar.
That's right. Yeah, they did tear the house down, didn't they? I missed that one.
No, they didn't fall, but they had a Escobar had a match, and then Hit Row came out and was waiting for him when he was leaving the ring, and they kind of had like a stare down between his group and their group.
Okay. You gotta update me on Hit Row. I feel like somehow even all the NXT I've been watching, they're the group that's eluded me. I haven't seen them.
Well, because they have that. Besides that, that was all they did. They had the Cypher at Great American Bash, and then they had this where they just came out like pretty much talking shit to Santos or whatever. So yeah, they
Gotcha.
haven't been on TV since he won the. They haven't done anything in ring since he won the title.
Okay.
From Bronson.
Nice. Dynamite happened today or this week. In front of another. This was their first. No, this wasn't their first show on the road, was it? No, this was their second.
Last week was.
Yeah. This was their second show on the road. Fighter Fest night 1. Hot crowd. I'll give that. That was my huge takeaway from the show. Was that crowd stayed alive throughout the whole 2 hours?
They've been, I can't front. They've had the best crowd so far.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying on the Untitled Friday show was the crowd on SmackDown. The official return was fantastic, but they were really loud in the beginning and really loud at the end, and it was kind of okay in the middle of SmackDown. We'll get more into that after this. But big things that happened. So Malachi Black gave his first big promo referring to Cody Rhodes as a prize stallion that is
Gotta be
no
put
longer
down.
in its prime, ready to be put down. I'm into it, man. What about you?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like I knew like everyone knows how I feel about AEW. Like I'm always up and down on it, but like this, like everything about this, like I knew that he would be, if given the right light, he would be a top star. And I think him chopping down Cody his first feud out the gate is perfect, and what he'll need. Because to me, he may be the biggest star right there, honestly, because of what he already was and what he brings to the table. Like I think he has the chance to be the biggest star they have.
The right booking.
Yeah,
I've always said this: Dynamite's roster is I find very top heavy,
yeah,
and very
absolutely.
bottom heavy. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's almost like their mid card is what's lacking. They have a bunch.
absolutely.
They have a huge roster that wrestles almost exclusively on Dark and Elevation. I will say one thing that's really neat about AEW, without trying to sound like a shill. I they have I don't know of any other company, like mainstream company, that has highlighted so many unsigned talents,
Right, right.
letting unsigned guys come in, get 10-minute, 15-minute
Mhm.
matches. Um,
That's the only thing. That's the best part about Dark and all those things, but it's also one of the downsides too because they put so much of their storylines in being the elite and Dark, and then when they come to Dynamite, they just play it, keep moving with it. Like we know somebody like me, I don't have enough time to watch those other two shows. So like sometimes I'm left looking like, what the hell is this? Like what's going on? Like what happened? But
yeah,
because they did it on being the elite and Dark, you know what I'm saying? They think most of those fans carry over to all three shows, and I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
I feel like I'm probably said this before. Is it's not so much like they'll set up stuff on being the elite, but they'll add to the story.
Exactly.
Like it's kind of like how do I put it, man? It's just like if you're watching a movie, and you turn away for 5 minutes, but nothing of note happened in that 5 minutes, you still missed 5 minutes of the movie,
Right, exactly.
even if nothing was conclusive.
Right. And like I said, it's all and it's just little things, but because we do this now, like those little things matter to me when I'm watching a match or a feud. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, that reminds me,
that,
Being the Elite comes out today too. Yes. I love watching it, man. I do. It's
I
weird
got to
that
get back into it. Like when I was in the office, that was like my lunchtime thing. I
so
watched being elite while I was on lunch.
here's a funny thing that they're doing is they're trying to elevate, because Being the Elite is such a successful YouTube show and has
Right.
contributed,
Years now.
yeah, contributed to the success of the Young Bucks and a lot of other professional wrestlers and AEW. It's adding to it.
Yeah.
They're trying to replicate that with other YouTube channels, like Sammy Guevara's got Sammy's vlog, and now apparently Ethan Page does too. And the way that they're doing this was in story, on just the YouTube side of things.
Yeah.
The Dark Order has been banned from Being the Elite, and they're essentially being pimped out to these other YouTube shows. Ethan Page, they appeared on Ethan Page's vlog. I didn't watch it, but he came out and said afterwards that was the most viewed vlog he's done. And
I watch Ethan Page. Like I love Ethan Page.
yeah,
Like I've loved him since Evolve with Darby Allin. Honestly, that's how I got hip to him was his feud with Darby Allin.
so the Dark Order turns out is a needle mover on YouTube. You put the Dark Order on someone's YouTube channel, and it's gonna move the needle, man. It's fantastic. Um, I just thought it was funny. Dude, something's badass. I When's the last time you got excited for anything Team Taz? They have
Never.
never, right?
Never.
We get a swerve. So this was advertised FTW title match, the first one since the title's been introduced. Ricky Starks taking on Brian Cage. The story here that they were spinning is it's two brothers. They got to fight it out, get it out of their system.
Right. Get out the way.
Yeah, get it out the way, get back on track. During the match, Ricky Starks goes to use the title. Powerhouse Hobbs prevents him. Swerve, though, just a minute later, Powerhouse Hobbs clocks Brian Cage. Team Taz has officially turned on Cage. which I think we've seen this coming. And
Yeah, I definitely see this coming.
Ricky Starks is the new champion. Dude, I hope Ricky Starks blows up. That guy has buckets of charisma, man.
Yeah. He's just that's another one they have like waiting in the wings once they get him ready for this team task bullshit. Like once he gets out on his own and gets out there being the heel that he could be, especially from the stuff and work he did in NWA, like they have, I don't want to say MJF, but he could be on that level as far as being a heel for them.
Oh, I think so too. I absolutely think so.
He just makes you want to hate him. He's so fucking smug and good looking, and like just how he carries himself. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he makes you want to hate him. Like even if he was a babyface, you still fucking hate him.
No, you're absolutely right, man. He's got that narcissistic, like Rick Rude. Just as a man, you're just jealous. He's got that it factor. Oh yeah, man, it's fantastic. There's a 5 versus 5 Dark Order versus Elite match being set up. I'm kind of into it. This one, I'm more lukewarm. I know I said I wouldn't include stuff that I'm like either not really high on or really low, but the reason why I'm including it is along the story of Hangman Page getting to that title.
Right.
Essentially, big promo between the Elite, Dark Order, Hangman Page. Long story short, they're going to have a 5v5 elimination match. The stipulation is, once again, AEW has done a couple of these, I think, now.
Yeah.
If Dark Order and them lose, they are not allowed to vie. Hangman cannot vie for the World Championship. However, if they win, Dark Order gets a tag team title shot, and Hangman gets his world title shot. He's got to win it, right? Like,
yeah, he's winning.
Who is the? Because when you have a elimination match, it's going to come down to a Valiant babyface. Does Hangman Page get the win for his team, or does it fall back on one of his brothers?
I think it has to be Hangman,
right?
To an extent, either Hangman or Silver.
Yeah. Oh, how great would that be? Hangman loses, but or is eliminated, but not because he's just straight up beat. There's a ton of shenanigans. 5v5.
Yeah, it's going to be shenanigans for sure.
Yeah, and then Silver down, let's say 3-1, rallies back and somehow pulls it out.
Well, because if you pay attention to the battle, Silver's been the one fighting Omega for every time the shit pops off until Hangman comes out. It's been Silver on him.
Silver just going after him, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. Like to me, that would be the best booking for it, because then you still you get Hangman pushed toward the way he needs to go, but you show a member of the Dark Order is willing to go beyond and above for Hangman. Like, motherfucker, we're the reason why you're getting this. We called him out the first time and we won the match. And also everyone knows Silver's the star out of that whole group.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you kind of do two things at once.
It plays like
to
you
me,
said.
that would be the best way.
It plays right into the story that they're telling is the Dark Order will be there to help pick up Hangman and help him out. Yeah, no, absolutely. Fantastic. Andrade, he's looking for Death Triangle, man. Is he joining him? Does he want to lead him? Does he want to fight him?
I think it should be both.
Yeah, wants to take over.
Fight somebody for the leadership of it.
He wants to take over Pac's spot.
Right.
Yeah, he's coming for Pac's spot. You know what would be great? I was thinking about this. If they are feuding, for him to throw not the subtle jab at WWE, but subtle jabs at his previous character, the man that gravity forgot, Neville.
Right.
The like superhero-esque. Oh man, I'd love for him to say something along the lines of like the man that everyone forgot or something like that.
I mean, we just need to be honest. These are the dream matches that we want. Him versus Phoenix, him versus Penta. Not so much Pac, but we'll take that too. But for the most part, him versus Phoenix and Penta are top of the list as far as dream matches go for Andrade.
Yeah. I mean, Penta and Phoenix, I mean, it really would make sense, though, that he wants Pac's spot. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it really would make sense that he wants Pac. And that would be fantastic for him, too. If you think about that, him teamed up with the Lucha Bros. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, that would. Because Pac, as much as they, are accent each other in the ring, Pac really is kind of like a odd choice in that. in that whole
I
trio.
never got it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't mad at it, but yeah, it was kind of like weird.
Yeah. Square peg, round hole, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, I think what Andrade and Pac bring to the table in in ring
absolutely.
style, those guys, man, tear it down. Darby Allin, Ethan Page, they killed it in their Coffin match. Just go back and watch. If you're gonna watch anything, go back and watch this Coffin match.
And this is actually one of the milder matches they've ever had,
dude. So here's the thing: did you know this? So in the 4 shows this year that AEW has cracked 1 million, 3 of the 4 were headlined by Darby Allin.
That doesn't surprise me.
Tell me that kid ain't a draw, man.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Just the simple fact that he's always the underdog. Like, it doesn't matter what he does. People are going to always be there for him. And like you said, he isn't technically a homegrown AEW star, but he is a homegrown AEW star. Like, from the beginning, he's been that guy slowly building the fan base, killing himself, getting the fans behind him. Like, to me, he should be in, like, after this feud, like after he puts Ethan away, like, he should be in the world title picture. Like, I know it's going to be hard with the Hangman and fucking Omega situation, but like Darby should be like you said, it should always be those 3 or 4 guys always in and around or hanging around the title picture. And to me, like you just said, they've only cracked 1 million 4 times. 3 of the times, Darby was the main event.
Yeah, man, Darby main event.
That's not a coincidence.
No, that is not a coincidence at all.
2, you can maybe say like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It just, but 3 out of 4,
yeah,
you got to get that man his props.
I like this match for the simple fact it wasn't so much a coming out party for Darby Allin as it was Ethan Page. I think this match put Ethan Page on the map. I want him done with Scorpio Sky. I love you, Scorpio, but you know, at the end of the day, you've had a lot of opportunities to really captivate people, and I don't think that he is. And I don't.
No, he's trash, bro. Like, he's not trash in the ring, but he just not. He's like Cedric Alexander to me. Like,
yeah,
honestly, like, he's dope in the ring, can put on a banger with anybody, but we're never gonna connect with somebody that has 0 promo skills. That's why they always put him with somebody.
Yeah, it is a little odd. I love the guy too. It's not
right.
Like, you know, it's not like he's QT Marshall here, and
I
want you gone. By the way, I'm done. I know I said give him the benefit of the doubt. They've run out of time with QT. Like, he's one of the driving forces of criticism for AEW.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people that don't have much ammo on why they don't watch AEW, and QT Marshall is just the go-to for a lot of people. When the man could be on TV.
Another part is, like, he trains some of their newest guys and some of the guys you see on TV. Like, he's the reason why they're there. But at the same time, like, it's what I always say, what I hate about it is it's not what you know, it's who you know. Like, they talk shit about WWE for those things, but all your best friends and your fucking old-ass 70-year-old brother and all these dudes are getting TV time. Like,
AEW is rampant with nepotism. You know, I mean, the company was kind of built on nepotism.
Yeah, it was, which I get that. And they didn't have a roster, and so they did at the beginning. Those guys needed to be there. They needed to fill that roster. So yeah, you go get the people that are closest to you and the people that you think should be up there with you. I get that. We're a year in. You don't need fucking Dustin or QT Marshall on TV. Unless QT is a manager for the factory, like, I get that. Take a bump every now and then, but there's no reason in fucking hell he should be wrestling on TV.
Yeah. I don't mind Dustin if Dustin was rolled out in big stories.
Right. Or to come help his brother or something like that.
He's used more as like a background character. You can see him helping out people behind the stage, and then he comes out, you know, because Cody's being just murdered in the ring or something. But
Cutler. Like, I like Cutler being fucking the Bucks, pretty much their manservant. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that, I don't mind. Because, he's on TV, but he's not taking up somebody's time slot because he's helping the Bucks push something forward. It's making them be more heelish. Because to me, I think you do need that.
Anthony Ogogo is suffering because of QT Marshall.
Absolutely.
Anthony Ogogo is the breakout out of that group, man. The guy's got a ton of potential, but for some reason, we're focusing on QT Marshall's promos.
Because that's what they want you to do.
Yeah, exactly, man. Just get it done with. Like this is, I can't defend the whole card anymore because of QT, because I'm done defending.
Right.
I'm done
Right.
defending QT Marshall, man. Lastly, is Miro's belt, man. So this is. Are we at a point now? Like, is the TNT Championship gonna change and be customized for every champion?
I don't mind that.
I don't mind it either. I feel like you've kind of booked yourself to that corner at this point.
Right.
Yeah, because everybody has had a specific design now. Cody had the unfinished design. Brody.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of it was because the title wasn't really developed.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of going through its own like character transition, I guess.
And then with the untimely passing of Brody Lee, they retired the red strap belt to -1, his son,
right.
And they introduced the black strap for Darby. And so right there, even though it was more of a victim of circumstance, 3 designs, 3 champions. And now Miro, 4th champion, 4th design. You kind of got to go with it at this point. I love that.
I'm not mad at that. I kind of dig that.
Person online on Twitter had a really intriguing long thread of the story of the belt. It's a complete from the strap to the side plates to everything as an homage to Bulgaria and the hometown of Miro. It's apparently this person is from the same place as Miro, and they went in on all of it, and they said that entire belt from top to bottom is all surrounding Miro's heritage in Bulgaria, which I think is actually pretty badass.
Yeah, that's fucking dope. Like I said, I'm into it.
So all right. It's funny, I didn't have a list of things I hated until I got to AEW, because I don't want that whole bias, okay? So you heard me go off on QT, get him off. Here's the controversial one. As much as I love the veterans on AEW, I don't want them facing off on each other. I was not a fan of Matt Hardy and Christian. I like the idea of these guys working with younger talent, getting them over, and getting surprising victories too as well. You put them on TV, that's the first time I felt like I was watching TNA. Was watching Matt Hardy and Christian with nobody else involved. It's just these 2 guys.
And it wasn't like it was a terrible match. It was just that
it doesn't fit the tone. It did not fit the tone.
Everything involved in it. No, it felt like it did. It felt like an Impact match. It really did.
I'm not opposed. I couldn't even make
you saying that just literally went off light bulb like it did.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same way. It wasn't like I said, it was actually a pretty decent match between 2 old fucks. You know what I'm saying? But again, Jungle Express wasn't out there. Private Party wasn't out there. Like there was no like if it probably would even been better if there was some like smozzy shit and their guys got involved. You know what I'm saying? But them just having a 1-on-1 straight up match, like it was, it was a criticism you can't escape.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not opposed to having Christian or Matt Hardy on TV frequently. Right. I don't mind them being on television. I actually enjoy it quite a bit.
Those backstage ones with him and Jungle Boy, like those were fucking legit. Like him, like popping up whenever Jungle Boy lost or when he won, like telling him not too high, not too low, bro. Like you got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought those were actually legit.
Yeah. But as far as these old WWE vets facing off with each other and being completely void of anything else AEW related, not into it, man. Like I said, I liked the match, but it did not feel like a Dynamite match. It did not feel like the tone of AEW Dynamite. The other things too was I want more build for Moxley's title. Moxley's going to lose that belt in a random match, you know, and it's going to feel kind of like less impactful. Now granted, they're kicking it off with Lance Archer and Moxley having a rematch of their Texas Death Match this upcoming Wednesday. I think that's great. But I need every segment Moxley's on, that belt needs to be front and center, not just, oh, by the way, we're holding a New Japan match this week. Like, no, like Moxley needs to be toting that belt around, needs to be Mr. New Japan 100% of the time going forward.
And I don't think he's going to. I don't think they want that at all.
Yeah.
I think they want the rub, but they don't want to rub back.
Yeah, it feels weird to me, man, because it feels like otherwise this belt is going to be just lost on a random match. Like New Japan's going to flex their muscle and be like, okay, we need the belt back because we're having, we have an American show that we're doing now. We need it back over here. Let's just go ahead and toss it on a random episode of Dynamite. Like, no, I want that belt to feel legitimate. And then lastly, dude, Jericho is as great as Jericho is at reinventing himself. Ditch the God of War bullshit. All right, man, you're not fucking Kratos. Like this whole
somebody said I saw something that said he tried to fucking
copywriting. He's trying to copyright it, bro.
I mean, it's smart, but it's a dickhead move.
Yeah, no, dude. This whole like the mythology of Chris Jericho. Look, man, you're really good at reinventing yourself. Now, this ain't it, kid. This ain't it, man.
What happens when the inmates run the asylum, bro? You just throw shit to the wall, see if it sticks.
Yeah, no. I was hoping that God of War was like a one-off. Like, no, that apparently Jericho's.
No, he's going balls to the wall on this.
Well, has he been anything since he was Le Champion?
He brought the Painmaker shit back, I thought, didn't he?
Yeah, but that is really like a New Japan thing. Yeah, I think it's because he can't really refer to himself as Le Champion anymore, and so he's trying to find the next moniker.
Right.
God of War in it, bro. God of War in it. I've never thought of Jericho and been like, yeah, that dude goes to war. Like,
right.
Yeah, no, that's it just doesn't fit. SmackDown, crowd's back. New set. Dude, the screen is 100 feet tall. Like the strong. It's like
they took all the fucking Thunderdome monitors and put them together.
It's like exactly. It's the Voltron of all those LEDs.
Exactly. The fucking Megazord of fucking.
It's cool though. It's cool. It's basic, but
not
cool.
At the same time.
It's super high def, dude. Combined with the 4K camera, that NFL 4K camera, it does actually look pretty awesome.
It does.
Yeah. The crowd shocked the shit out of Michael Cole whenever Edge made his entrance. Yo, that crowd.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We really don't have to talk about shit on SmackDown. We go straight to Money in the Bank. We can just talk about that Edge pop. That was the most memorable thing in the whole fucking night. Like I've been on record, like the crowds are like, I'm glad they're back and like I see it. But to me, like I don't think that they contribute that much to the show. And then that Edge pop happens. And I've even put it in the group chat. I'm like, all right, I was wrong. Like, that Edge pop was something like, I don't think I've experienced anything like that since I was a kid.
I think Michael Cole genuinely was like startled at how loud that was. I wish I could be in the ring because there's no way to know how loud, like how many decibels that was unless you were there. I bet.
Well, they even talked about on the pre-show Money in the Bank, like Rosenberg and fucking Bradshaw, they even talked about it. Like, it was like, he literally said, Bradshaw said, I've never felt anything like that in my life in person.
Yeah, that crowd was ready to give it back. And, man, they did. I'll say this. When WWE books things correctly, man, they knock it out the park. And the opening of SmackDown, the way they opened that show felt huge. And that was, I attribute that to them. Not going to lie, the rest of SmackDown felt like by the numbers. Like, I
don't remember anything from SmackDown except for the first 10 minutes and the last.
Exactly. You had Vince's one-liner. Where the hell have you been? That was pretty good. I love how like everybody shits on Vince. He's destroying the business, but the moment that dude's music hits,
they fucking cheer. Everyone's creaming their fucking jeans, singing a no chance. Like,
it's kind of like when you're a teenager and you're like, man, fuck you, dad. You're in your bedroom and you're just like cussing out your dad, and then he barges in the room. What were you saying? Like, nothing. I love you, man.
Love you. You're the best dad in the world.
Yep. The Fatal 4-Way was good. Kevin Owens had a huge spot off the ladder. The fan footage of Pat McAfee losing his shit from that spot was fantastic, man.
Pat McAfee is next level.
The thumbs downs on all this shit. Once again, could give a damn about the women's division. They're not really doing much. Bianca had a match with Carmella, which is just resulting in a rematch. So, and everyone just seems to think it's so you can roll out the next competitor. And like, dude, you can be more original than that, you know?
They will be.
And then Cesaro, unfortunately, over like crazy. But obviously, you can tell with WWE, they got nothing for him because he's feuding with Alpha Academy. But yeah, so SmackDown, great fans. Otherwise, if you book it as a show, it was kind of by the numbers. And then, yes, Money in the Bank. Whoo, man, what a pay-per-view. RN, best WWE pay-per-view of the year so far.
Facts.
Oh, man, easy. Pre-show. All right, man, let's get into the controversy. Pre-show, Usos win the tag titles. I said it on Check Your Temperature. Said, look, man, WWE might try to swerve us. We never expect a belt change on the pre-show, and they might do it to keep us on our toes, and they did.
It needed to be done.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It needed to be done. Look at that picture of the Usos and Roman Reigns backstage with Paul Heyman, all that gold.
That's the reason why it needed to be done.
Yo, and then with I don't know if it was Jimmy or Jay, but they actually presented the belt to Roman instead of like, we're champs here. Yeah. Here's your gold. We brought you this. And Roman telling him, hang on. I wish Roman had actually taken him. And he's now the tag champ, and he's the tag team champions and the world champ.
It was needed for this incarnation of the bloodline. They needed to have all the gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish they had another person. Like I wish they had to cut Buddy Lee. Like I wouldn't mind Buddy Lee. I'm looking for a new person to be a disciple of. That would have been dope. Him with the
Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, him with the Intercontinental picture or whatever, and getting that belt too. Something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that he needs one or two more people to be a part of this. Because like, how is just 3 people keeping down the entire fucking roster of 100 wrestlers? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's a woman, add Naomi to it after the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like something like they need I think they need something else to make this really feel like the head of the tribe, the like mob boss shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been saying this for a year now, but I think that they need to flesh out the crew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, absolutely. But I mean, I was a fan of it. I know the whole controversy. What type of message is this sending? Jimmy gets a DUI and he's rewarded on TV. It's like I said it before, man. If Game of Thrones was filming, you know, their story, they're not going to change their story arc because one of their actors got in hot water, unless it's something. And I don't mean to downplay drinking and driving. It's a terrible thing. People die every year from it. So I don't mean to downplay it like it's not a big deal. But unless it's something you're going to prison over, you know, it's, you know, it's not enough for a business or a company that writes stories to all of a sudden scrap their script that they've been working on for the better part of a year,
right?
And just do an on-air punishment. I mean, it's like I said, there's no other television program or movie on this planet that would do this. So why would WWE? Because at the end of the day, it's a scripted story, you know. Facts. And so I get where people are getting confused because, and not necessarily confused, but where people are getting upset because he's a person on television, a role model. What message does it send to the kids? At the same time, he's an actor playing a role. Jimmy Uso didn't get that DUI. It was John Fatu. I think his name is John. You know, there's no way to please everybody here. You know what I mean? No. It's just, it is what it is. And we knew there was not going to be a punishment when all we do is get those subtle nods in the story, like Roman giving him the side eye, you know?
No, I completely agree. I mean, like, and at the same time too, it's like, mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly that's something personal that really is none of our business. We should know that anyway. Really, it's kind of technically, it's not against the law because it's public record. But I mean, like, nobody would fucking know if it wasn't for the internet and people just being nosy dicks, wanting to bust people out. Like, no one would ever know that. We didn't know back in the day when these guys were getting busted for shit.
Nope.
And right back on TV. So, like, why does it matter? Like,
No.
It's none of our business.
Exactly. And that's just like, that's at the end of the day. It's, and here's the thing, man, don't get it twisted. You can still enjoy the story that's being told and condone the actions of the individual.
And not condone.
But I mean, and not condone it too. It's
right.
It is what it is, everybody. The women's, okay, so I'm not going to lie. As a match, really wasn't into the women's Money in the Bank match. As a finish, though, as who wins, oh man, I love that Nikki Cross won. I do. Here's the thing, Aaron. I don't even know why. I don't have anything articulate. I just wanted her to win, man.
I know you did. Like I said, I don't. It's not that I hate what's going on. It's that fact that it's only been a couple weeks. There's no real thing behind it. I don't think that this is a long-lasting play. Like she's gonna get a little bit more out of it now because she does have the Money in the Bank. But like in the Ash part, like you don't have to do that. Like they always overdo. Like all that does is equate to Ash. That makes it easier for me every time I say her name to say Nikki Ash.
Well, remember,
because this Ash to me, and then you put done. Ash right there.
They're confused because half the time they'll call her Nikki Ash, and then the other half they'll call her Nikki ASF or ASH.
Yeah,
and their branding is totally all over the place for her. I don't know, man.
I think it's Ash all the way around.
Yeah. I do think it's a creative win, though. I will say that. It was an original victory. You had 6 of the 8 participants fighting on top of 3 ladders below the briefcase. The briefcase was flying all over the place as all 6 of them were reaching for it. And then out of nowhere, Nikki scrambles up and over, I want to say Zelina Vega or somebody. She literally just scrambles over one of the people on the ladder and unhooks it in all the chaos. It was neat. It was creative.
Yeah. The finish itself was dope. I mean, really the whole match was just who ended up with it is the part that I have an issue with.
Yeah, I don't believe Nikki is the one who would have benefited the most. I still stand by what I said the other night. I think it would have been Zelina Vega.
Right.
I think the belt with her would have added much more, but
my thing is too, like the briefcase doesn't match with the whole gimmick. Like what superhero's carrying on a fucking suitcase? Like it doesn't go with the gimmick.
That's true
too. How weird is that gonna look?
What if they I don't think they'll do it, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know how Otis had the lunchbox, whatever? What if Nikki all of a sudden we're looking at a Gregory Helms hurricane situation where she starts now dressing down in his regular Nikki and then and her costume is in her briefcase or something. I don't know. Hell if I know.
I mean, that wouldn't be too terrible. Yeah. At least it would make some sort of sense into this whole superhero thing. But like, how are you going to defeat supervillains and crime carrying a fucking suitcase with you?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
And it would be different if she wasn't so small. So that it really does look like a suitcase with her because she's smaller. So
yeah. The Raw tag team titles, they were losing us there. And then the men's so Bobby Lashley, Kofi Kingston. Talk about Brock Lesnar v. John Cena 2015. The worst championship squash match we've seen since then. Christ almighty, dude. Bobby put a beating on Kofi. This, because of how the night finished, this was by far the best booking WWE has done for one of their champions in a long damn time, man.
Years.
Yo, oh my God, dude. Bobby looks so deadly, man.
And it played into what happened at the end of a go-home show, which never fucking happens.
Right.
They always forget what happened literally 3 days before on the go-home show. He said, fuck the noise, forget the bullshit, it's back to fucking business. And their business is the Hurt Business.
God damn, man. Bobby Lashley destroyed Kofi Kingston for probably, I don't know, like 10 minutes straight. It felt like an eternity. He was doing he wasn't even, like he said on the promo, he wasn't content to beat Kofi. He was putting him in the hurt lock and then pulling him out of view of the ref so the ref couldn't see Kofi tapping out or passing out.
Right.
He did some
the ref had to get like 10 different positions when he finally put him in the hurt.
Yeah, man. It was good too, because we've seen other heels do this in the past where they'll go to pin a guy and then lift him. So it was nice for them to do the same thing but differently in a way that we haven't seen.
And the thing that killed me was like he got all his shit in, but it all looked like worse.
Yeah.
Like when he does the like flatliner, like I ain't never seen him pick somebody up and hold him in the air like that, then do the flatliner. Or the fucking thing where he just picks them up by their gut, like not a choke slam, but it almost looks like it. Picks them up by their gut and slam them. Like it just everything.
It's like a cross between a spine buster and a choke slam. It's dope as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything about it just looked like he was trying to kill Kofi. Like literally.
I'm telling you, Bobby Lashley just got elevated to Roman status as far as like deadliness in the ring. If not, maybe even more so.
To me, I think he's more deadly in the ring. In ring wise, Bobby's looks better, feels more dangerous. It's just the fact that Roman's character has developed so much, that he's better. But in ring wise, no, I think it's by far. He's got a better spear, and his submission hold is better too, for real.
Yeah, it's true. Although I do like Roman's guillotine.
I love the guillotine.
Yeah, that guillotine's pretty badass.
That's my finisher on fucking 2K all the time, bro. But no, that hurt lock though, like no one. I don't think even like I did some like deep diving and shit, like the people that did it, like Chris Masters and all those like guys back in the day. Like no one makes that move look as terrible as it looks
because he ragdolls them at the same time.
He
ragdolls his opponents.
Yeah, it's like when your older brother fucks you up as a kid. Like it's not like. It looks terrible.
Yeah, but given that later in the night, Big E won the Money in the Bank, this made all sense in the world. All the sense in the world. Kofi didn't need any rub tonight since Big E was getting it. Kofi.
I think we're getting our reunion.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get it.
Hats off to Kofi Kingston, man, helping Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley, I feel like he went up multiple levels last night with that squash match.
By far, and you know this is what your veterans are for, and you know Kofi signed off on this. This wasn't no thing where Kofi was just like, "Come on, man, no, I can't do that." Like, no, you know Kofi signed off on this. You know he knew what his job was. Was to make fucking Bobby
what the results were going to be too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And he did his job. That's what your veterans are supposed to do. They're supposed to elevate your younger talent and elevate your champion.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was crazy, man. I love it. In hindsight, that's one of the best booking decisions WWE has made in like you said, years. So the match that I was crapping on for the last week ended up being one of the best overall matches of the whole night with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Man, the crowd, dude, it was such a beautiful demonstration of taking control of the crowd. And I put this probably 80-20 on Charlotte. Not going to lie. Rhea was there, takes two to tango. But I put about 80-20 of this on Charlotte, man.
This is how I don't that match, like, is why I don't understand how people don't think she's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, I love Trish Stratus. We all love Trish Stratus and Lita, but they were not anywhere fucking near the level that Charlotte Flair is on.
Yeah, man.
They were for their time because it was all bra and panty matches and lingerie and shit. But none of those women are on the level of Charlotte Flair. They are just not.
The crowd started out shitting on the match just like a lot of us were at home.
Right.
They started jeering them. They started cheering, "We want Becky." Charlotte Flair flips off the crowd. They cut the feed, which was stupid as hell, along with all the other technical stuff of the night. But
they didn't cut it on mine. I saw them flip the crowd. I saw her flip the crowd.
Yeah, the feed got cut on my end. I mean, it did catch it briefly, but it blacked out for a bit. And it went from, the crowd being either silent or heckling them to absolute losing, and you could see it in Charlotte's face. It was almost like we watched an unofficial double turn, because I don't know how other people had it, but I had it. Rhea Ripley was the face and Charlotte was the heel going into that match. By the end, the crowd were red hot for Charlotte and booing Rhea Ripley. I mean, everything that Charlotte
it's all WWE's fault. It's all WWE, because they have done nothing for Rhea to make her character. Even Rosenberg said it on the fucking pre-show. He was like, I don't know who Rhea is. Is she the Nightmare? Or is she this this mini version of Charlotte using those heel tags? He's like, we don't know. I don't know who she is. And that's what we've all been saying. Like, what exactly is her fucking character? Well,
hopefully the momentum of this match will give her a good foundation. Hopefully they'll be able to play on it today on Raw.
What does she go from here, though? Is she still...
It's a hard one, man.
Still going to ride them out to SummerSlam? Or like, you know what I'm saying?
I hope they lean into Charlotte being, at very most, a tweener, you know? And then Rhea Ripley, I think, should be heel at this point. Just because of how the match went last night. I don't think people are going to be cheering for Rhea. Live crowds. I don't think so. And I think WWE needs to roll with it. But yeah, no, this match was just, it was fantastic. The moment Charlotte busted out her patented like moonsault to the outside, dude, it was a wrap. The fans were eating out of her hand for the rest of the night. By the time that she locked in that figure 4, the crowd was losing it.
A legend. That's what legends fucking do. That's what top of the line superstar wrestlers do. They take that fucking crowd and everything the crowd thought that they were gonna do, because they thought they were gonna what the shit out of it, and we want Becky and fucking Charlotte was like, are you out of your fucking mind? No, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And like you said, as the slowly, now they went from booing, finally getting into it and booing Charlotte. So by the end of it, they were cheering her to fuck on, the clear-cut heel in this whole entire process. And they ended up cheering her. That's what superstars do. That's what GOATs do. And Cena does that. Roman does that. HBK did that. Taker did that. Legends.
Yeah, man. Professionals in their craft. They know how to do it. A couple things. The near falls really added to it, making this match very high tension. And then 2, I'm gonna start a petition for the natural selection to now be done exclusively off the top rope. That move, that move off the top rope. It
doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't look like anything when she's on the ground. Like, it doesn't look like you could fuck anybody up with it. But off the top rope,
yeah, that was crazy. Go back, watch that match. Honestly, watch the whole pay-per-view. The only match I would say you could skip is probably the AJ and Almost match with the Viking Raiders. It's a whole lot of, it's okay tag wrestling, but I mean,
they had a good spot when he picked up fucking Ivar.
Like he was
in the corner. Yeah, literally had him gorilla pressed him. Like, that was that was impressive as well.
Ivar fell from like 8 feet.
Literally.
Jesus.
It looked like he fell off a roof.
The men's Money in the Bank match was pretty decent. Not gonna lie, Ricochet had a lot of awesome spots in here. Morrison was really good. But the true thing that sticks out to everybody about this match is the winner. We mentioned it earlier. Big E is your Money in the Bank winner, and just the moment and the reality is just settling in. That Big E, the man that we never thought we would see. We wanted it, but we just never thought that man's going to be world champion, RN. That man.
You know the best part is, we sat here when this all started. You were like, I don't know. I just don't know if I see it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he'll get there. And now look at us.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Look at him. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Not me.
No, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, like, I don't know what I want. Like, I don't know if I really want him to beat Roman, or if I do want it to be, he goes back, the New Day reunites, and now they're behind him like they were behind,
dude, Lashley's going down.
Oh, just think about these two motherfuckers. These might be the 2 strongest physical people in the entire company.
Slapping meat.
Jesus, bro. But that's what I'm saying. But I know the story will be so dope first with him and Roman.
Dude, I do not like. I know Big E said he wanted it. But if rumors are to be true, we're getting Goldberg and Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam.
Right.
Big E has stated in the past that he wants a match with Goldberg.
Yeah, that's his favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
That was his favorite wrestler growing up.
as a fan of the show, I want him to take on Big E. What I think they might be doing is I think Goldberg might put away. I want Big E to take on Lashley. Excuse me. But what I think they might be doing is Goldberg beats Lashley, and we get Big E and Goldberg. Which that if that's what they do, man, I hope it'll be okay.
I'm a fucking protest. If you do what you just did with Lashley, and then he loses to fucking William, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my shit if he loses to William.
I ain't calling him so much Goldberg air out.
Yeah, because he's not Goldberg anymore, bro. He can't even. We talked about he can't even do his own finisher to anyone. He almost kills everybody he tries to do that finisher to, bro. No, do not bring Goldberg back, please don't.
Yeah, no, we'll have to wait and see. Raw's, like I said, Raw's tonight is being rumored to be very impactful. Similar to maybe the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't know if you want to go into the show tonight with that much hype, but I would expect we're going to see some returns and maybe debuts as well.
No, but my thing is why not? They need this type of hype. Why build it up if you can?
Well, I mean, as a fan, don't go in with that level of hype because WWE hasn't earned that level of faith.
That's what I said. Yes, build the hype up, but we all know they're not going to follow through on it.
The last. Now, granted, with the pandemic era really messing it up, but even before then, the last Raws after Mania have not lived up to.
No, because they haven't debuted anybody like they used to. We always knew we were getting a big debut or something big happening the Raw after WrestleMania, and we haven't in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Last up, man, Roman and Edge tear the house down. I went from being like, oh, Roman's, it's way too clear cut, to these guys just winning me over and me going, you know what, maybe they will put it on Edge. Just sowing those little seeds of doubt. They killed it in this match. They killed it once again. It was fantastic.
A veteran doing what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. But they did in the end take the predictable route. Seth Rollins got involved, cost Edge the match.
But in this, I kind of feel the same way. It was predictable as shit. But for me, for them building towards their match at SummerSlam, which to me is going to be the match of the fucking night. Mm-hmm. I'm stating that now and putting my claim in now that Seth Rollins versus Edge is going to be the match of the night, and it's going to be the feud leading up. Until they show me anything else, who's the two best dudes on the mic? Who's the two dudes that make you feel the best way? Either way, Seth always makes you hate him, from the suits and the fucking all that shit. and Edge makes you love him no matter what he's doing, even if he's beating the shit out of people with a chair and choking people out with a bar from a chair, but you still love him. So you got the two best things you need. You got a clear-cut heel and a clear-cut face from two dudes that are at the top of their fucking game. This is going to be the feud of the summer and the match at SummerSlam. Book it. I'm saying it here right now.
Awesome. I'm sound biting that too, by the way.
Sound biting.
Oh yeah. At the end of the match, it's fantastic. Edge chases off Seth Rollins. Roman's left in the ring, grabs the mic, and at that point you knew it. Right. Pay-per-views never go off the air with a promo. Fucking.
It was 15 minutes left, 15, 20 minutes left after the match.
Dude, we saw the return. John Cena's back. I can't take credit for this one. I saw this on Twitter. Slim Cena is what I'm seeing. He's definitely dropped about what looks to be 20 pounds, maybe 30. Definitely with a little bit more slim physique. But either way, crowd lost their mind. He came out. He taunted Roman Reigns. We're getting the feud. It was great, man. It was great seeing John Cena. Everyone lost their minds. You can't really downplay it. It's freaking awesome. After the show went off the air, Cena addressed the crowd. I don't know if you saw this. And Cena pointed out a sign that was right at the entranceway. And he pointed out the sign, and it said, "If Cena returns, we cheer," which is a play on the sign from ECW. If Cena wins, we riot. Yeah. Dude, who would have thought, man? Yeah, because
we needed this.
Yeah,
we They did, and this is another thing too about their booking. They built Roman up to be the big bad. They built him up to be Thanos down to the fucking Infinity Gauntlet he wears in every match.
Yeah, that's true.
We needed Captain America to come back.
Man, Cena also addressed the crowd a little bit. Said, "This isn't what did he say? He said something along the lines like, this isn't just like a one-off. This is my first night, or I'm not happy to be back. I'm happy to have my first night back."
Right.
I wonder how many dates we're gonna get with Cena between now and SummerSlam, because we have probably
got one Friday coming up. It's supposed to be the night of Cena or something like that. They had advertised on Fox Sports this morning. So,
and then also he announced on WWE.com that they're kicking off Raw with Cena.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, if you got Cena, you're gonna use him, right? Right. Good Lord. But yeah, fantastic, man. Fantastic shit, dude. I can't freaking wait. And then lastly, the last thing I'll leave us with is, did you see the WWE exclusive promo with Big E?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see that? You need to watch it. It is Big E is not in character. That man is speaking 100% from the heart. And then Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston come in. I'm telling you, as a fan of the New Day, if you guys have not seen this, go look up the WWE.com interview they did with Big E last night. Man,
we got to get the reunion.
By the interview, it may have already happened. going by that interview, it might already be a thing.
I'm about to go watch it right now. So
dude, check it out. But thank you guys for joining us. Bama, I just caught you in the live stream, man. Thank you for hopping in.
What up, Bama?
If you guys want to support the show and support us, you can head on over to patreon.com/SmackDrawPodcast. We have a whole bevy of reward tiers, stickers and t-shirts, shout-outs, all sorts of fun stuff there. If you're not really into that subscription-based support life, we'll take one-time donations over on paypal.me/SmackDrawPod. We appreciate all your contributions that we get monthly. Savannah, I say this on every show, Savannah's the newest cast member, or one of the newest cast members. She had zero equipment when she signed on with the show, and your Patreon dollars is what got her entire setup. So thank you guys for helping. It goes right back into the show. Follow us on Twitter, myself at The Kai Tai Show, RN over here at Mr.8984, and of course our show at Smacked Raw Pod. And then don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Smacked Raw Podcast. Like always, you guys, until next time, y'all have a good one.
Peace out. See y'all next week.
Wrong outro. Hold on. There we go. Just playing the Untitled Friday Night Show outro.